So, dear students, I welcome you all in the class on analog and digital communication lab. So, in the last class, we had completed experiment number 1 and 2. Experiment number 1 was related to your basics of cathode ray oscilloscope, which is a measuring instrument, and how to use that CRO in your experiments. And then experiment number 2 was related to amplitude modulation. So we had demonstrated you practically how to generate amplitude modulated signal, and how to observe the waveforms, and how to complete the experiment. So I had also given you the instruction how to write your practical files, and I hope most of you must have completed your experiment number 1, 2 in your files as well. Okay, so today we will start with your experiment number 3, which is related to frequency modulation and demodulation. We all have covered frequency modulation and demodulation in the class or in the theory part. So today we will practically demonstrate and observe the generation of FM wave and its demodulation. I hope you will be able to further clarify your concept on frequency modulation and demodulation. Okay, so now we will start, and I request Ankita to please carry forward her presentation. Yeah.
So, hello everyone. Today is our third experiment related to frequency modulation and demodulation. This concept you have learned in your theory class. Now we will check practically how the frequency modulated and demodulated waveforms will look like in CRO. First of all, a basic introduction about the frequency modulation demodulation scheme is given. Frequency modulation is the scheme in which the frequency of our high frequency carrier signal is varied in accordance with the instantaneous values of the message signal. Earlier, we have learned about the amplitude modulation, in which the amplitude of the carrier signal is varied, whereas in the frequency modulation, the frequency of the carrier signal is varied. Uh, in this diagram, you can see the green colored waveform is of carrier wave, and the blue color waveform is of message signal. Baseband signal is written here. Earlier I have told you that low frequency signals are called baseband signals. So according to the variations in amplitude of this baseband signal, our carrier wave frequency will be varied, and you can see this variation in the third waveform, which is of red color. Uh, See, when the amplitude of the carrier baseband signal is increased, at this point, the amplitude of the carrier signal, message signal is maximum. Then the frequency of the carrier signal is maximum at this point. Whereas when the amplitude of the carrier signal, whereas the amplitude of the message signal is minimum at this point, so the frequency of the carrier signal is decreases here. So key points are written here. The frequency, first point is written, the frequency of the carrier signal is varied in accordance with the instantaneous values of the message signal, which I have explained here. What is the variable here? Frequency of the carrier signal. And what will be the constant? Amplitude and the phase of the carrier signal will be constant here. So general expression of the FM signal is written here. Here the variation is provided in the form of the frequency of the carrier signal. MF is the modulation index. Omega M is the angular frequency of the modulating signal. And AC is the maximum amplitude of the carrier signal. And this is the our generated FM signal. MF is the modulation index. Modulation index is the ratio of maximum frequency deviation with respect to maximum frequency of our message signal. So this we have to learn about the FM modulated and demodulated waveforms. We will observe them on CRO, and we will calculate the modulation index. How to calculate? We will calculate the deviations in the frequency of the carrier signal, and then these deviations will be used to calculate the modulation index of our transmitted signal. So how FM signals are generated? The main generation of the FM signal, or we can say FM modulation, is shown here. This is the general block diagram of the FM modulator. First of all, audio oscillator. Oscillator which will provide the audio signals mainly of low frequency, 3.4 kilohertz to 3 kilo audio frequency signal will be provided up to 3.4 kilohertz, and this signal will be provided to the FM modulator. FM modulator will be supported by the carrier generator. Carrier is a high frequency signal, and this high frequency signals frequency will be varied in accordance with this audio signal, and the output will be amplified and then transmitted to the antenna. This was the general block diagram, and this scheme can be applied to every modulator and modulators of FM, which we have learned in theory, like reactance modulator, varactor modulator, or you can modulate the FM signal through indirect method, Armstrong method. You have learned about this in theory. And this is various demodulation schemes have also been mentioned here, which are the slope detector, Foster-Siller detector, ratio detector, and PLL detector. We have to perform this experiment using a trainer board. A trainer board which will provide you the black box form of the various modulators and these demodulation schemes, and you have to just provide the input and observe the output waveform. We have to just focus on the conceptualization of the FM modulation and demodulation. So we will not perform a breadboard circuitry here. We will use the trainer board for our observations. So this is a big picture of our trainer board, and this which is present in our lab. This trainer board is taken from our laboratory in the GGU lab, communication, analog and digital communication lab. So you can see this trainer board is provided with the various modulators. See, you can see the blocks present here. First block is of audio oscillator. Audio oscillator will provide the message signal here. The message signal which we have to use to modulate the carrier frequency, or which we have to transmit through a frequency modulation scheme to our receiver. And this audio oscillator output, or we can say this message signal, is provided to the modulator. Two types of modulator are present here: reactance modulator and varactor modulator. The detailed theory you have learned in your classes, and these type of you can choose any of these modulator through a switch provided, uh, the, and you can through a switch provider, you can choose any of the modulator. This is the LED glow will show which modulator is chosen here. The LED glow here is in the front of the reactance modulator. So this shows that you have chosen the reactance modulator for your FM modulation scheme. If the LED glows in the front of varactor modulator, you will have chosen the varactor modulator for the FM modulations. And when you have provided the particular modulator, like this is the switch. This switch is used to select the modulator, which modulator you have to select. If I press this switch, then the LED glow will be here, and your reactor modulator will be automatically chosen. Now the reactance modulator is chosen in the particular setup which we have picturized, and then this output, either from this or from this. The LED glow will show which modulator provides the output here. So at this time, reactance modulator is activated. So the output of the reactance modulator is provided through a mixer or amplifier circuit. What is the mix amplifier? It is used to amplify the amplitude, amplify the signal. The low amplitude of the signal will be amplified for the transmissions. Why mixer has been written here? The use of mixer is to mix the noise signal in our modulated input. When it will be used? When we have to deal with the noisy signal. We will use the amplitude modulator block when is the present at the right side. Amplitude limiter block is present. When we have to make use of this, we will use this noise input, and this selection will be done through the switch provided, which is termed as T3. So now you can see that the noise input LED is not cloned, so we cannot provide noise to our signal, and the signal is amplified. Signal is amplified and provided to the next block. So here again a switch is present, which is used to decide about the whether the signal will go directly or through the amplitude limiter. We have provided a direct path to our signal. We are not making use of amplitude limiter. If there is LED glows, then we will this shows that the amplitude limiter block is selected, and then this path, through this path our frequency modulator signal is transmitted, and then it is given to the various detectors. The detectors present in this circuitry are quadrature detector, detuned resonance detector, Foster-Cille ratio detector, or PLL detector. I hope you have learned about all these detectors in the theoretical class, and Foster-Cille or ratio detectors are given in the combined form, and again a switch is provided to decide, and LEDs are provided to shows which detector you have selected. Now, after the selection from the detector and the transmission to the detector, FM demodulated wave is provided to the low pass filter, which will block the high frequency signal present in the demodulated waveform, and the low pass filter will transmit the low frequency signal, our audio and the message signal which we have transmitted to our audio oscillator will be provided through this low pass filter, and we can observe this waveform through the test point. The observations will be done through the test points provided in the circuitry. A few technical specifications are mentioned here. Audio oscillator range is provided 300 Hz to 3.4 kilohertz. FM modulator, two types of FM modulator are provided. One is reactance, other one is varactor. And the carrier frequency adjustment is of 2 kilohertz. See, here are the knobs present, through which you can vary the carrier frequency up to 3 kilohertz. The fixed value is 455 kilohertz in the both modulators, and after this 3 kilohertz variation can be given either in positive side or in negative side. And 5 types of demodulator are present here, which I have shown you, and a low pass filter amplifier whose cutoff frequency is of 3.4 kilohertz. Because our audio frequency ranges between 300 Hz to 3.4 kilohertz, and the frequencies higher than this will be considered as noise. So we have set the cutoff frequency of this low pass filter as 3.4 kilohertz. And this last block is based on an IC configuration. An IC is used to designed IC XR2206 based frequency modulator is provided, which provides the carrier range between 10 kilohertz to 200 kilohertz, and this will modulate our modulate our carrier signal, and then again IC is present to demodulate our frequency modulated signal. The low pass filter will be common for all the circuitry. And the amplitude limiter box, you have learned about this amplitude limiter when the signal transmitted, the FM signal transmitted is always constant in its amplitude. The amplitude of the FM signal is not varied, but when the noise of the channel covers the FM signal, the amplitude variation comes in this signal, and when we calculate the envelope using the frequency deviations, then our distorted signal will be detected at the output. You must have learned about the demodulation of the FM signal, where the envelope detection is used according to the frequency deviations. But if the amplitude deviations will also be present, then the exact envelope cannot be detected. So to detect the signal properly, we have to limit the amplitude of our signal. We can set the two ranges, either plus AL or minus AL, which can provide the fixed range of the amplitude in which our signal is limited. The amplitude variations of the signal is removed at this point. So this is an experimental setup again shown. I have used here the PLL detector, and which modulator has been used here, reactance modulator. You can see that the audio oscillator, from the audio oscillator, the input is given to the reactance modulator. From the reactance modulator, the output is given to the mixer. No noise is added here, just signal is amplified, and then the signal is given to a direct path, and the demodulator selected is PLL detector, phase loop detector, in which the VCO, voltage control oscillator, you have learned. The frequency will be adjusted of the VCO according to our carrier frequency, and then this signal is passed to a low pass filter, and the output will be detected at the test points provided in this kit. I have shown here a few observation waveforms when we will perform the FM experiment uh, choosing various audio frequency, carrier frequency, and what we will observe in the CRO I have shown here. First waveform shows the audio oscillator output signal, and the audio oscillator will provide a fixed low frequency signal, which we can tune. The amplitude can also be tuned here, the frequency can also be tuned. So a particular amplitude and particular frequency, this signal is plotted in the CRO as shown here. This is our message signal, which will vary the frequency of the carrier signal to transmit it. Now this second waveform is our carrier frequency signal. The carrier, this actually looks similar, but the calibration of CRO is very different for these signals. The carrier frequency is of high frequency signal as compared to audio oscillator, much higher than the audio frequency signal. And then up then this our frequency modulated signal is shown here. In our theoretical classes, we have learned the waveform of the frequency modulated signal. I have shown in the right side. This type of waveform we have learned about in our theoretical classes, that according to our audio oscillator amplitude, the frequency of our carrier signal will be varied. When the audio amplitude will increase, the frequency of the carrier will increase. When the voltage of our audio oscillation signal decreases, the carrier frequency also decreases. But in the CRO, this observation is difficult to obtain because of the high frequency differences between the carrier signal and the audio signal. What we will get in the CRO? This type of waveform that you can shown here. Initially, the waveform will be very congested. Then it will be there will be different cycles. When we will zoom our signal, it will be very congested. When we will zoom our signal, we can see these type of cycles in which the time period of the different cycles is different. This setting can be done in the CRO by 10 times zoom, and you will observe the same signal when perform the experiment. Here, different cycles will be provided at the different time. In the detail, you can see this waveform, this right side waveform. Initial, some signals have low time period, some signals have high time period. High time period signal means the signal is of low frequency, and low time period signal means the signal is of high frequency. And the difference of this signal frequency is our frequency deviation. So when this after modulated signal is passed through a demodulator, and after that through low pass filter, we can observe this type of output. And this is our massive signal, and the below one is our demodulated low pass filtered output. Now, we have observed the waveforms in our CRO, and then the second work is to calculate the modulation index from the observed waveforms. We have observed the FM modulated waveform, demodulated waveform. So, through this FM modulated waveform, like I have shown here, that concludes the different time periods cycles. We have to calculate the modulation index. This is the theoretical diagram shown here. When we will observe this type of waveforms according to the Bessel function, the center frequency or the mid frequency is our carrier frequency, and the frequency present at left side of most left side of here is called the maximum frequency deviation, and the frequency of the cycle present at the rightmost side is called the lowest frequency deviation. But why this? Because the time period of this cycle, this waveform is highest. The highest the time period, lowest is the frequency. So lowest transmitted frequency will be here, and highest transmitted frequency will be observed at the left side. And from which way we have to observe this? We can see that we have to calculate maximum frequency deviation for our modulation index. Maximum frequency deviation for maximum frequency deviation calculation, we have to choose on that cycle in which the deviation of width of the cycle is maximum. So we have chosen this waveform to calculate the frequency deviations through the time periods. In the CRF, you can observe only the time deviations. We cannot measure that frequency deviations directly. We have to measure the frequency deviations through the formulas using the time deviations. You can also, you have learned about F maximum frequency of the modulated signal, that will be carrier frequency plus the maximum deviation in the carrier frequency will be the maximum FM modulated frequencies. And what will be the minimum frequency minimum frequency of the FM signal? The maximum deviation subtracted from the carrier signal. And then from through these two formulas, we can calculate that maximum frequency deviation is F maximum minus F minimum divided by 2. And carrier frequency can also be calculated through this, that carrier frequency will be the average of F maximum plus F minimum. These are not deviations. F maximum and F minimum are the maximum and minimum frequencies of our FM signal, frequency modulated signal. It will have consist of different frequencies. So the maximum frequency and minimum frequency will be used to calculate the modulation index. So this is the procedure shown here, how to calculate the modulation index to these waveforms. This is the calculation done in the manual. So you can observe that through the carrier frequency is set here 10 kilohertz, audio frequency is set in here 1 kilohertz with the amplitude of 4 volt peak to peak. And the calibrations of the channel 1 and 2 have also been mentioned here, time based. That means the x-axis and divisions are mentioned 50 microsecond. And from these waveforms, we can check that we can observe the maximum frequency deviation from this cycle. You can see that the markers which have been provided here for this waveform have the maximum frequency deviation. This marker shows that the 3 cycles, 1, 2, and 3 cycles of FM has been completed here. Then one calibration is for one cycle has been calibrated up to 50 microsecond has been shown for this one block, and one cycle is of 2 block. So up to 6 block we can calculate this time will be 300 microsecond. Whereas for this last time period, one extra block plus 1 point is covered. This is the measured values. You can easily observe on the CR. we get to 300 microsecond and 316 microsecond as the time period of the 3 cycles. And for 1 cycle, we can divide by 3. So this is written here. 3 cycles of FM are completed in 300 microseconds, and the time period of the 1 cycle will be 100 microsecond and FM. 300 microsecond is for the leftmost cycle. Leftmost cycle means the lowest time period. Lowest time period means the maximum frequency. So maximum frequency calculated here is the 10 kilohertz. Similarly, lowest frequency can be calculated for the rightmost wave cycle, and it will come out as the 8.33 kilohertz. So frequency deviation, as we have already seen in the last slide, that it will be F maximum minus F minimum divided by 2. So through this formula, we can calculate the frequency deviation, and the modulation index can be easily calculated. Modulation index is the ratio of maximum frequency deviation to our massive signal frequency, and you can see that the modulation index come out to be 0.83 here. So this was the basics about your FM modulation and demodulation experiment. You have observed the input and output waveforms. You have calculated the modulation index through the observed waveforms. Now we can see all these data through a video.
Hello everyone. We are going to demonstrate SANTIC 2203 frequency modulation and demodulation techniques. This instrument we have designed in textbook format. You can see this is a textbook format. On the outer cover, we have provided the block diagram and the waveforms of the FM modulation demodulation techniques. And inside of the cover, we have provided the in-depth study of the frequency demodulation and modulation and demodulation techniques, block-wise explanation. And these are the blocks, various blocks used in frequency modulation, demodulation techniques. I will explain each and every block's working, and then later on we will perform the experiments. So let's start with the block diagram explanation. First block is audio oscillator, and this is test point, output test point for the audio oscillator. There are two potentiometer for frequency and amplitude. Frequency is from 300 Hz to 3.4 kHz, and amplitude is 0 to 10 volt peak to peak. Both frequency and amplitude are variable. With the help of this potentiometer, you can vary the frequency and you can vary the potentiometer also. Next block is reactance modulator. Before this, I will explain you one thing, that is, we have provided switches over here to select a particular block. If you want to select the reactance modulator or any other block, you have to press this switch. So this is switch for selecting the particular modulator scheme. If you want to select reactance modulator, vector modulator, you have to press this switch. By default, it is selected on the reactance modulator. As you can see, the light is glowing. That it means reactance modulator has been selected, and the output is coming over this test point. This is the potentiometer given in the reactance modulator block. This is for varying the carrier frequency 458 kHz. Next block is, by selecting this switch, you can select the next block, that is varactor modulator. This is also carrier frequency of 458 kHz with plus minus 2 kHz accuracy. Again, there is a potentiometer given in this block to vary the carrier frequency. Next is noise input mixer amplifier block, whose work is to mix the carrier frequency and the audio oscillator. to give the modulated output at this test point. You can see the modulated waveform. Next block is amplitude limiter. This block removes any unwanted amplitude modulation due to the noise interference. For selecting this block, you have to simply press this switch. And if you want to deselect this block, you have to again press this switch. Now there are 5 demodulators: quadrature, detune, Foster Seeley, phase lock loop, and low pass filter is the final output. So to select the particular demodulator block, a detector selection switch is given over here. By default it is on quadrature detector, so modulator signal goes to this particular block and output comes from here at this test point, and this is a path for the low pass filter, and finally you receive the demodulated waveform, that is the audio oscillator waveform, demodulated sine wave. Now to switch on for the next demodulator, you have to simply press this switch. Now you comes on detuned resonator. This is the input, and finally this is output of the detuned resonator. Again these signals goes to the low pass filter, and you can see the demodulated waveform. Now you can see that the signal is somewhat over amplified, so you have to decrease the gain of the low pass filter, and this low pass filter has a cutoff frequency of 3.4 kHz. Again there is a next block, or you can say next demodulator, Foster Seeley. Basically it has 2 demodulators, Foster Seeley and ratio detector. So you can select by pressing this switch. So same, there is an output of this block and the final low pass filter output. Next block is phase lock loop. In phase lock loop there is a potentiometer given to control the VCO frequency. This phase lock loop has been designed by using a VCO, voltage controlled oscillator, and you can adjust the VCO frequency with the help of this potentiometer and set for the output. Now this is a separate FM modulated demodulator based on the XR2206 IC, and it is a frequency range of 10 kHz to 200 kHz, and this is carrier frequency of 10 kHz to 200 kHz. You can vary the frequency over here, and for again switching this particular block, again you have to press the switch modulator select, and this block has been selected. So you can see the LED is glowing, that means this block is highlighted. So at this test point you can see the output, frequency modulator output, and with the help of audio oscillator amplitude you can set the frequency output. So this is FM output according to the Bessel's function. This is the frequency demodulator output, and it is based on IC LM565. So this is the output of frequency demodulator, and this is final low pass filter. So now for receiving the demodulated output, you have to tune the particular frequency to get the demodulated output. You can see we have received the demodulated waveform. So these are the blocks and experiment. Now I will show you each and every, there are few experiments. So I will show you one experiment and then we will finish this exercise. As I told you that this is an audio oscillator block whose frequency is 300 Hz to 3.4 kHz and amplitude is variable. So we have to keep frequency at the maximum and amplitude at 4 volt peak to peak at this test point. And you can select any of your choice of modulator, reactance modulator or vector modulator. I have selected reactance modulator. You can see the output. Now this is the output of mixer amplifier, and then I have selected quadrature detector, demodulator. This is output of quadrature detector, demodulator, and the final output, low pass filter. In the similar way, you can select any other demodulator, Dutune, Foster-Seeleg, or PLL. So this is a simple process to operate this instrument, and this is an amplitude limiter circuit. As I told you, if there is a noise or interference in this frequency modulated waveform, this amplitude limiter circuit will remove that interference or noise and gives you a smooth output. For that purpose, if students want to do the experiment of amplitude limiter, he has to just give input to the noise input, low frequency of somewhat 100 Hz or 50 Hz of 2 or 3 volt peak to peak, and he can generate the frequency modulated with the noise, and he can again switch this instrument and he can remove the noise from the frequency modulation. Thank you for watching this experiment.
So through this video, you can conclude what we have observed till now. We have observed how to work with the different types of FM modulators and demodulators. And the second one is to how FM modulated and demodulated waveforms looks in practical manner at the CRO. And we have also calculated the modulation index of an FM modulated waveform. So this was all about the FM modulation and demodulation. That was our third experiment. And so thank you.